Today we are talking about the Weeylite Ninja 200 by Viltrox. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Anson, and on this channel we talk about filmmaking, specifically budget gear, tutorials, and a look at the projects that I'm working on. So if that's something you're into, consider subscribing. Now, I don't normally review lights on my channel. They don't generally do well on my channel, but this light has been one that has caught my eye. And so I actually requested from Viltrox to send this over to let me test and review. And with that being said, Viltrox did send me this light, but as always, they're not requiring I say anything specifically, and so you get my full and honest opinion. And the way that we're gonna break down this light is by my pros and cons, as well as who I might recommend it for. So let's start off with the pros, and the first pro is the size of the light. This is a tiny, tiny light. One reason why it caught my eye is because it is a light that you can fit into tight scenarios. I'm in a pretty small studio right now, and so having a light like this to be able to cut down on the size of everything that's in my studio has been really beneficial. I also put out a teaser short film last year that used this light as well, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit and why that was beneficial. So that goes to my next pro, and that is the fact that this is a bi-color light. And so this is how that teaser comes into play, because with that teaser, I actually had a blue tint to the light to mimic more of a moonlight setup. And so all I did with that light, I basically put the light as cool as it could go, and I just blasted it into a window, pointing more of like a downward motion into the window, cutting through the blinds, and it offered that more like moonlight effect with that teaser short film. And so being able to have a bi-color light, not having to worry about gels or anything like that, is a really nice option to have, and another really cool feature about this light. So with that, let's talk about my next pro, which is the portability of this light. There's a couple of different packages with the Ninja 200. The base package, I don't believe, comes with a battery power option, but if you go to the next step, you can get a battery power option, which is just really cool because you can take NPF batteries, slot them into the battery slot, and then basically power the light off of NPF batteries. And so that's a really nice feature to have, is the battery power option. Now, another pro and a really cool feature of this light is it does have the ability to completely cut off the fans. And so if you are in a tight scenario like I am in right now, where you can't have a ton of fan noise, you do have the ability to turn them off. So silent fans is one of the pros of this light. Now, another big pro is the overall price of this light. Depending on the package you go with the Ninja 200, you can pay anywhere between a little bit over $200 to around $400, maybe a little bit over $400. And so the fact that you can get this light for anywhere between $200 to $400 around those ranges makes this a really good budget light, offering a ton of different features for budget conscious filmmakers. And so obviously that's one of the bigger pros about this light, is the overall price point. Now, before I go into the cons, I do want to mention some things that this light does offer I didn't personally use because I'm just not a huge fan of these features, or maybe I just didn't take advantage of them fully. One is the light does offer app control. So that's kind of a pro, but I really didn't use it a ton, so I can't talk to its performance. And it does also offer a set of effects. Now, I'm not huge into effects with these types of lights. I like to use smaller lights when it comes to effects, but it does offer a set of effects, just like what you would expect from any major light coming out now. And so those are some things that the light does offer. Like I said, I didn't necessarily take advantage of them, but those are nice things to have. Now with that, let's talk about some of the cons. And I have a couple of cons with this light. One being that the Bowens mount adapter is plastic. It just didn't feel very secure. I didn't really want to put a bigger mod onto this light simply because I didn't really trust that Bowens mount adapter. I can't say it like broke on me or anything like that. It just did not seem super secure. And then the other negative for me is while you can turn off the fans, it is really hard to figure out how to turn off the fans. There's a couple of dials and switches you have to press to actually turn off the fans. And so I feel like in that scenario, the user experience is not the greatest. And that's where I feel like it has a good opportunity. Now, maybe if I were to take advantage of the app control, it might have been a little bit easier. But again, that's just not how I use the light. I like using a lot of the physical dials or remote that the light offers. And so that to me was kind of an annoyance, having to do a little bit extra work to get the fans to turn off. And so with that, let's talk about my overall thoughts and if I recommend this light and maybe who I'd recommend it to. While there are some of these cons that are there, every product has cons, but I do feel like the pros outweigh the cons with this light. And so I would 100% recommend this light. And so absolutely, if you're a budget filmmaker, if you're somebody that's in a small space and you cut down in size, if you need that ultra portability, maybe even the bi-color features, I would absolutely absolutely recommend the Weeylite Ninja 200 by Viltrox. And so that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. And if you're digging the overall content from the channel, consider subscribing. If you do have any questions about the Ninja 200, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you all for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe, be happy, support each other. Wash those hands, and I'll see you here next time. Peace.